where E an environmental comfort. E represents an environmental comfort. Uh, e, Next, E represents some energy efficiency. 3 represents safety assurance, and 4 represents regulation and compliance. So, when to better understanding these requirements, we can classify. We can further discuss about the 4 parameters. So, in a hospital, definitely there are various areas where where we need these type of IoT devices for the smooth improvement of the healthcare applications. So environmental comfort is the first category, where healthcare facilities always like hospitals, clinic and rehabilitation centers, and elderly care homes also should provide a healthy and comfortable environment for the patients and the healthcare workers. The first aspect with respect to this environmental comfort is actually the indoor air quality monitoring. So, air quality always directly influences patient recovery and staff productivity. So, we can say that coming to the air quality monitoring, parameters such as carbon dioxide level, particulate matter, temperature, humidity, and volatile organic component must be continuously always monitored. And the second effect is actually the um, thermal comfort control, which actually means depending upon the medical condition, some patients may require a required temperature or humidity. And sometimes they require high temperature or some high humidity inside the room. So these are actually coming under the thermal comfort control. And smart HVAC systems can automatically regulate temperature and humidity to maintain the optimal condition. Now, the third aspect of the environmental comfort is actually noise and ambient monitoring. So, excessive noise can effectively affect patient recovery, because excessive sounds inside ICUs, etc., or elderly people can increase the heartbeat or can increase their blood pressure, which can also affect the recovery of the patient. So, some IoT sensors which can help monitor noise levels and maintain a clean environment inside the hospitals. And the next parameter is actually the energy efficiency. That is the second E that is going to be dealt with. And energy efficiency is, hospitals are among most energy intensive buildings because they operate continuously 24 hours throughout the day. Therefore, reducing energy consumption is both an economical and environmental necessity. The first requirement is actually the building efficiency. So, IoT enabled smart meters and sensors can continuously monitor energy consumption across hospital building. The second requirement is for the energy efficiency is smart energy management. So, energy data collected from departments of the hospital can be analyzed to identify inefficiencies and efficient resource usage. And another energy efficient method is HVAC optimization. So as we know, heating, ventilation and air conditioning system always account for a significant portion of hospital energy consumption. So smart control system can adjust operations based on occupancy and environmental conditions. And the fourth requirement is the predictive maintenance, where instead of waiting for equipment failures, IoT sensors can continuously monitor equipment health and predict maintenance requirements before breakdowns can occur. So this reduces downtime, improves reliability, and also lowers maintenance cost. Overall, Energy efficient healthcare facilities can reduce operational expenses. So coming to the safety assurance, which is the third E we are going to discuss, where normally the third category, patient safety is one of the most critical objectives, and this IoT technology plays an important role in continuously monitoring patients, healthcare staff, and critical assets. So in this area, most of systems, most of the safety major healthcare system which comes under this category is the fall detection monitoring. Falls are actually a major concern particularly among elderly patients. Wearable devices and smart sensors which can automatically detect falls and immediately notify the caregivers. And the second application is the patient and asset tracking. Hospitals manage thousands of patients and valuable medical assets every day. So IoT based tracking systems always it can enable real time monitoring of patients, chairs, infusion pumps, ventilators and other equipment. Now coming to the fourth category of the ease framework, which is actually the regulation and compliance. And under this category, the main requirement is actually the cold chain medication monitoring. So as all we know, many vaccines and biological products actually requires a strict temperature control during storage and transportation. So IoT sensors can continuously monitor environmental conditions to ensure product integrity. And similarly, the second requirement is data privacy and security. Healthcare organizations handle sensitive patient information that must be protected from unauthorized access. So IoT security framework helps ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability of healthcare data with the help of different techniques like accelerated learning, the newer technologies like blockchain, etc. The third requirement is actually the audit and reporting. Regulatory agencies often require detailed records of healthcare operations where IoT systems automatically generate logs and reports, simplifying complaints management. Fourth requirement is actually the regulatory compliance. So these are actually the main four E frameworks which are always addressing. There are these actually they addresses major challenges faced by the healthcare facilities worldwide. So these are about the E framework. So environmental comfort and energy efficiency, safety assurance, regulations, and compliance. So, coming in detail, what are the different indoor quality monitoring systems? Indoor air quality monitoring systems. It's always dealt with using IoT type IoT devices, bad air quality and insufficient ventilations can identify. So normally the key parameters which are monitored for these type of indoor air quality monitorings are TVC, PM2.5, PM10, TVOC, FMOA. So by identifying these key parameters and if it exceeds some threshold values, then it will directly affecting the health and especially it is vulnerable for the especially for the vulnerable people. So that is actually indicating the indoor air quality monitoring. Indoor air quality monitoring. Um, so it helps actually detecting the poor ventilation and airborne contaminants. Actually, improve the indoor air quality, and it can help to reduce infection transmission in healthcare facilities. And it also supports healthy indoor environments for patients and staffs. So, coming to the thermal comfort control, temperature fluctuations can significantly affect patient health, particularly elderly patients, children, and individuals recovering from illness. So, improper temperature and humidity levels may lead to discomfort, stress, and delayed recovery. So, smart healthcare facilities can use temperature and humidity sensors to continuously monitor environmental conditions. These temperature and humidity sensors value can be collected through various IoT devices, and it can actuate a smart thermostats and HVAC systems to automatically maintain the optimal indoor conditions. So the system can intelligently control heating, cooling, ventilation, radiators, and air handling units based on real-time environmental data. And as a result, patients can experience a more comfortable environment. The next one is noise and ambient monitoring and measures. We already discussed that this type, when there is excessive noises, that can affect the patient healing or patient recovery. So however, excessive noise in similarly, excessive noises and inappropriate lighting can also negatively affect patients. Sometimes there is inappropriate lighting inside the room that can affect the sleep of the persons, which can also causes the uh, which can also increases the difficulty for the patient recovery. So there are a lot of researchers are actually research happen in this area for improving the noise, improving the ambience inside the room by reducing the noise levels. So, through that we can reduce the stress, blood pressure, and similarly heart rate also. So these factors can ultimately help to improve the health of the person. So IoT based sound level sensors continuously monitor the noise levels in different hospital areas, and similarly smart lighting sensors that can monitor ambient light intensity and ensure proper illumination. So when noising or lighting levels exceeds a particular recommended limits, corrective actions can be taken automatically or through notifications to facility managers. So by maintaining appropriate sound and lighting conditions, hospital can create a more patient-friendly environment that support faster recovery and improved satisfaction. The next one is patient recovery occupancy monitoring. So as you can see, in hospitals, there are different type of occupancy monitoring is happen. It actually tracks room occupancy and space utilization in real time. Similarly, it can prevent overcrowding over through, if we can somehow prevent overcrowding, then air circulation can also be improved. So it also improves infection control and patient safety. So it support efficient allocation and light sensors for accurate detection, for for the accurate detection of occupancy, and a widely used sensor which is utilized for the measurement and light sensors other than the PIR and the light sensors are the WS302, and it can enhance the operational efficiency and patient comfort too. So now coming to the safety in healthcare, monitoring system. Already we started the discussion of the fall detection mechanism. So normally fall detection, it comes under the patient safety, and traditional monitoring methods often rely on caregivers, nurses, or CCTV systems. But if we are utilizing some IoT based intelligent monitoring system, that can automatically detect emergencies and provide real time alerts. So, coming to the fall detection mechanisms, the process actually begins with the sensing. So, different sensors continuously monitor the patient's movements and activities, and the main patient's movements and activities, and that will be analyzed based upon the analyzed for the posture and speed and direction and acceleration, angle of fall, and stationary detection. So nowadays a lot of AI applications are actually available to analyze these systems, like improvement in the posture recognition, improvement to identify the speed and direction, and improvement for identifying the acceleration and angle of fall, stationary directions, etc. There are so many algorithms nowadays are also finding out to improve the fall detection analysis. Now, once the event is detected, once the fall is detected, as we know it's an abnormal posture, then alert will be sent to the required ones. So alerts like SMS, or it can be given to a caregivers, or it can be like an SMS, or it can be like a visual dashboard which can be accessed to a person who is authorized to access these systems. So definitely now the main problem of such type of devices such type of devices are the privacy and accuracy concerns, because we know that these healthcare systems, healthcare areas such as washrooms, changing rooms, patient rooms, and elderly care facilities that require continuous monitoring while maintaining patient dignity and privacy. So, traditional camera based systems can raise privacy concerns because they capture images and video. So, to address these challenges, modern healthcare systems increasingly use millimeter wave radar type technology for these type of applications. So the VS373, it's a one of the millimeter technology based systems which can detect human presence, it can detect posture, it can identify the movement and the breathing patterns and falls without capturing images. And the key highlighting of these type of sensors are actually given, where it is actually working on 60 to 64 gigahertz wave radar, and it is providing high resolution which is in terms of millimeter level accuracy, and it can detect distance, speed, angle, and posture, and it also works in all lighting conditions, and in dim light conditions and no light conditions also it can identify the fold, or it can identify the distance, speed, angle, posture, etc. Similarly, it is very robust to temperature, humidity, and noise. And it can also support multi-person detection. And earlier days, the detection methods are actually includes Doppler shift detection, of arrival, time of light, etc. But nowadays, AI/ML based pattern recognitions are also utilizing for identifying these type of posture or the fall detection. So sensor fusion like radar plus PIR plus pressure sensors are also used for identifying the fall detection. It's there are multiple scenarios that can be actually reported. It means that there can be a fusion of several sensors can be available in a system where fall can be detected. Similarly, heart attack can be detected. Same breathing pattern monitoring can be done. Utilizing this millimeter wave technology itself, we can monitor the pattern of the heart rate and the abnormalities. If there is any abnormalities, that can also be reported. Occupancy monitoring can also be done utilizing this technology. So, additional safety monitoring capability. Uh, bed presence occupancy can be also detected. It detects if the bed is actually occupied or vacant. So in some situations, if the person is actually in some fatal conditions, there is a chance of fall from the bed itself, or for a longer duration of time, if the person is not in the bed, then also it can identify it as an alarming condition. So bed occupancy monitoring can also be helpful. This is actually integrated into most of the sensors. Similarly, bed pressure monitoring, pressure sensors embedded within the hospital beds itself that can monitor the pressure variations. Similarly, breathing patterns, continuous respiratory monitoring provides early warning signs of respiratory distresses and sleep disorders. So now motion analysis, which can track posture, inactivity, and unusual behavior. So if you are developing such a system, what will be its end-to-end monitoring workflow? The workflow is actually started uh, by collecting the data from the different sensors with the help of these IoT devices, which are implemented or interfaced in different area of the hospitals, and the data it can be then processed using computing devices located very close to the patient. Also, we can apply the real-time AI algorithms to analyze the information and identify the abnormal events. So coming to the AI algorithms, because it's normally our real-time events happens. So AI algorithms, which is different types of algorithms like machine learning algorithms, and also the deep neural algorithms also widely utilizing for identifying these type of abnormal events. So coming to a fault detection type of fault detection mechanisms, in our work also we implemented different types of machine learning algorithms like decision tree, naive bayes, KNN. But as we know, this is are actually a fault detection, actually a sequence of events, and maybe it is an sudden transition from one state to other state. Suppose we actually tried out on sequential type of processing like attention based network, or also the LSTM type of networks or RNN. So comparing with the machine learning algorithms, the processing, the accuracy of the system which is utilizing the uh, sequential type of networks is more. But as we know, whenever we are processing higher end type of deep neural network, we require large memory. Similarly, we require large speed, and also the deployment memory capacity of the system also be more. But this will be a trade-off when we are coming to a wearable device, because wearable devices have lesser memory space. Similarly, the processing capacity is also very small. So deploying such type of AI algorithms onto such IoT devices, incorporating edge devices, will be major challenge in the in such healthcare systems. So newer and newer AI type of algorithms are generating or developing for improving the systems, or with respect to fault detection mechanism, we can say that the accuracy of the system, eliminating the false alarms. So this is about the safety aspect of the e framework. And coming to the regulatory control in healthcare monitoring, healthcare organizations and pharmaceutical companies must comply with regulations such as good distribution practices or GDPs, World Health Organization guidelines, USP standards, national regulatory authority requirements. So these regulations require continuous monitoring, documentation, traceability, and audit readiness throughout the supply chain. So the objective is to ensure every pharmaceutical product reaches the patient in the same condition it was manufactured. I'm just saying, every pharmaceutical product reaches the patient in the same condition in which it was manufactured. It was an important aspect that is actually coming under the regulation of pharmaceutical product. So potential problems in the cold chain management is actually the different challenges. If we coming to the different challenges which are coming to the cold chain integrity, one is actually the temperature excursion. So the most common problem which is coming under this area is the excursion, which actually occurs when the storage temperature moves outside the permitted range. These medications may spoil. So, a vaccine stored above its recommended temperature may lose potency and becomes ineffective too. And similarly, if there is a power failure happens, cold storage units require actually continuous electrical power But power interruptions can stop refrigeration systems and that can lead to rapid temperature increases. Now again coming to other challenge, which is equipment failure. Failure of refrigerators, compressors, sensor or cooling system can compromise product quality. So without real-time monitoring, such failures may remain undetected for several hours. Another challenge is actually the water leakage. Water leakage is another important concern, and leakage from cooling systems can be there. There can be water leakage from ceilings, pipes, or storage rooms, which can damage packaging, labels, and pharmaceutical products. Moisture can also affect the storage conditions and regulatory compliances. So, here there can be incorrect handling human, wrong storage setting for the medications, and there can be improper loading or manual recording errors can lead to product loss. Similarly, transportation risk can be there. During transportation, delays, improper handling, and environmental exposure may also affect the product quality. So, therefore, maintaining temperature control throughout the transportation is equally important. It's equally important. Now, coming to the next E, which is energy efficiency control in healthcare management. The major challenges, as we say, the most energy intensive buildings, hospitals are actually the most energy intensive buildings because they operate always for 24 hours a day, 7 a week. So large amounts of energy are consumed by the HVAC systems, lighting systems, medical equipment, refrigeration unit, data centers, and various healthcare monitoring devices. So as healthcare facilities expand, energy consumptions increases significantly, leading to higher operational cost and greater environmental impact. So there should be some smart based energy mechanism, energy solutions required for improving the energy efficiency of any healthcare based IoT devices. So meters for real time energy monitoring, it's one of a smart solution, and we can utilize intelligent based HVAC optimization. Similarly, occupancy based lighting control, equipment energy consumption tracking can also be utilized. Then predictive maintenance for energy intensive assets, and AI driven analytics and automated reporting can also be utilized for the IoT based energy management mechanisms. And while I'm discussing all these terms, all these areas we can apply the AI algorithms. So, if we are just looking at the predictive maintenance for energy intensive assets, so the predictive maintenance can be different AI algorithms is actually utilized for energy for identifying the energy intensive assets. Similarly, some for the energy consumptions, reduction in the consumption of the consumption of the various devices, we can utilize as the sound, that heat signatures utilized by the we can identify the heat signatures of the different devices. Say for example, most of the time in our home also there will be some sounds are actually generating from the fans. So it means that more sound which is the different sound patterns which are occurring from the different fans are actually showing up the different sound patterns that is actually indicating some health condition for that particular devices. Similarly, air cooling air fans which is in the AC systems, refrigerating mechanisms, etc., actually have a digital signature, or we can say that it is having some signature patterns of sound. I'm telling about sound patterns. So that sound patterns can actually indicate energy usage or energy wastage of that particular devices. So by analyzing that type of particular by analyzing that type of signatures of that devices, we can identify we can predict the maintenance of that devices, so that energy can be we can reduce the energy energy usage. So there are so many again AI algorithms are utilizing for analyzing the the noise signatures of these type of devices in terms of sound, similarly in terms of heating mechanism also. So now coming to the energy monitoring and control, we can say that smart energy meters and HVAC and environmental monitoring, smart lighting control, equipment energy monitoring, predictive maintenance, and energy analytics dashboard. All these are actually showing some area where we can contribute into the smart healthcare system in terms of energy in order to reduce the energy wastage. Hmm? Mm, uh, Wastage. So AI-based analytics further assist hospital administrators in identifying energy saving opportunities and optimizing resource utilization. So now coming to the energy monitoring and control. Uh, this actually includes this actually includes smart energy meters. Okay, that we already discussed. Then coming to the different benefits of these systems, benefits which is achieved through intelligent energy management system are optimized energy will definitely lower carbon emission and support environmental sustainability. And this FDP is actually basically it's a key is actually sustainability. So focusing on the energy reduction, we can energy wastage and correctly identifying the problems of a particular different type of devices which are electrical devices which are inside the healthcare systems, we can actually reduce the carbon emission also. So this actually improves the sustainability goal, environmental sustainability goal. And organization becomes less dependent on subsidiaries by improving the energy efficiency. And also sustainable operations can contribute to development of green hospitals, environmentally responsible healthcare uh, facilities. So, to conclude, energy efficiency is not only about reducing electricity bills, it's about creating sustainable healthcare facilities that deliver high quality patient care while minimizing environmental impact. So, by integrating smart meters, intelligent HVAC systems, occupancy based control systems, predictive maintenance, and AI driven analytics, healthcare organizations can achieve significant energy savings, which can reduce carbon emissions, improve sustainability, and ensure long term operational efficiency. So, uh, with this, I'm just completing what are the different areas where IoT devices are actually connected and how we can improve the various areas where we can contribute the different healthcare systems. Now, I'm moving towards an new technology which is known as federated learning, which is utilized in the IoT technologies. So before going into this federated learning systems, it's actually based upon the AI mechanism or the AI technology. So as we know, nowadays all the systems using the AI, that is artificial intelligence. So there can be various artificial intelligence. There are various artificial intelligence algorithms which are utilized for the various applications in the healthcare data. So here, as we know, IoT devices, what is actually why we need this type of federated learning? Before going into that, why AI is needed in smart healthcare? As we know, various devices such as wearable sensors, ECG monitors, smart watches, patient monitoring systems, and environmental sensors are continuously collecting the healthcare information. So these devices actually generate real-time data related to the patient health. So as the number of connected devices which increases, the volume of collected data grows significantly. So this type of data now it's not this large volumes of data now it's known as massive healthcare data. So the healthcare data, actually, we can say that the healthcare data is actually possessing the characteristics of big data. So it is generated continuously from multiple sources and contains highly sensitive information. So traditionally, this data, if you are utilizing AI-based smart healthcare system, this data will be collected and this will be processed by a local server, or this will be directly loading onto central cloud. That is the usual pattern which we already which we are following in the earlier days. So by collecting this large volume of healthcare data with the help of devices, it will be transmitted to the cloud based systems. So here the the centralized cloud servers are now analyzing the data. But the major risk which is associated with the data collection is actually the patient privacy risk is there, and regulatory complaints issues coming into picture while we are loading all this patient sensitive information to a cloud. And also data ownership concerns will be another problem, and similarly communication overhead will also be another problem to the common will be the another problem which is coming in the normal AI based smart healthcare systems. So we can propose as a solution for these problems, the federated learning. So what is federated learning? Federated learning, it's nothing but it actually devices train models locally on patient data. So as you can see here, generally it's a general picture which is showing how this federated learning is going to work. So in this, each hospital is actually having a local AI model, and that local AI model will be trained by their own private and secure data. Hmm? So each hospital will have their own local AI model, and their model weights and the parameters, which is actually shared to the cloud, which is actually shared to a common server. So this is actually known as the federated workflow. So instead of data moving to a place, machine learning models move to the data for training, then recombine to create a global model. So this is actually the key idea in the federated learning. So federated learning, it's nothing but a distributed machine learning approach in which multiple IoT healthcare uh, connected devices are taking part, and that will train a shared AI model without sending the raw patient data to a central server. So as you can see here, normally wearable sensors like data will be collected from the smart watches, EG, BP monitors, etc. is actually collected, and that is actually transferred to a local edge devices. So can be in this wearable devices perform only light processing task instead of executing computationally intensive operations locally. The collected data or model updates are only forwarded to a nearby edge gateway or hospital edge server. So we can say, um, in the federated learning, this wearable sensors data will be given to a local device, uh, given to a local edge device, and that local edge device can be a smartphone or ESP32 or a Raspberry Pi. So the edge device acts as an intermediary between the wearable sensor and the federated learning system. And instead of sending raw patient information directly to the cloud, the data remains within the local device. And this is an important step because it helps preserve patient privacy. And there will be a local model training, that is the third step, and local machine learning algorithm is performed on the edge device. So the healthcare data never leaves the device. The data is actually within the hospital local server only, mm, local server only, Then the local model learns from the patient's own data and updates its model parameters. And the only model parameters are actually communicated to the common central server. So the updated parameter with not directly sending, it is actually encrypted. That model updates are actually encrypted, and that encrypted data is going to be sent to the cloud. So that will be known as a federated server. And from that federated server, the different data which is coming, the model updates from the different devices are also coming on there. And so definitely there will be a collection of model updates. All these model updates will be aggregated, and there will be different mechanisms for aggregation. Simple model aggregation means that model updates utilizing model just averaging of these model updates to improve the performance of the global model. So finally, we'll be getting a global model. Mm, the federated server actually taking up the encrypted updates from the multiple healthcare devices, and that will be as a coordinator, and it will be by receiving that information, model aggregation will be done. So the federated server combines the update from multiple devices, and federated averaging is used to merge local model parameters to create a single improved global model. So this system actually enables the system to learn from a large and diverse healthcare population while maintaining data privacy. Next is updated global aggregation is completed, updated global model is generated, and it will be redistributed. This model will be redistributed back to back to all participating edge devices. So each devices replace its previous model. Each devices will replaces its previous model with the newly updated version. So the device then continue training using newly collected healthcare data, and the process repeats continuously, allowing the model to improve time. So coming to just a comparison between a traditional machine learning versus federated learning. Here, as we can see on the left side, traditional machine learning, patient data come from multiple hospitals or healthcare institution, collected and transferred to centralized server. Example, hospital A, hospital B, and hospital C is actually sending their patient records to central server, and the server stores all the collected data and perform model training using the combined data set. After training is complete, global model is generated and deployed. Although this approach can produce accurate models, it can also introduce several challenges also. So as we can know, the main challenge is data privacy. The patient data actually leaves the hospital premises and is transferred to external servers, and this always creates a privacy concern in the traditional type of machine learning approaches. And also transmitting large healthcare data sets always requires significant bandwidth also, and communication resources. And again, centralized storage increases the risk of large scale data breaches because all is actually concentrated in a single location. Similarly, compliance healthcare regulations such as HIPAA and GDPR becomes more difficult when patient data is continuously transferred and centrally stored. So definitely, traditional machine learning approach will be not a good choice in the case of healthcare systems. So coming to the federated learning approach, as we already discussed, each hospital keeps its patient data locally, and hospital A, hospital B, hospital C, and hospital D independently train local machine learning models using on healthcare data. The raw patient information, so advantages are the raw patient information never leaves the hospital. Instead, only model updates or model parameters are sent to the aggregation server. The aggregation server collects these updates and creates an improved global model, and the updated model is then distributed back to uh, participating device. So main advantages of the federated learning in IoT healthcare. Privacy preservation, that is the first advantage. As we know, the data is not leaving local server, definitely patient data remains on the local device. Only the model parameters are actually shared. Privacy will be there. Then reduced bandwidth, which only transmits only model update of large data set. It will definitely minimizes the network traffic and communication cost. And regulatory compliance, it support healthcare privacy regulations, and also it reduces the risk associated with centralized data storage. Now, enhanced security will be there because sensitive patient information is not stored centrally. It actually causes the risk of large scale data. And scalability, it actually supports collaboration among thousands of IoT devices because we are only transferring the model updates. So definitely IoT devices which can support more scalability, it can connect more number of IoT devices can be connected through this mechanism. It's suitable for large scale healthcare monitoring systems. Now coming to the continuous learning, the global AI model improves with continuous from multiple devices, enables adaptive and personalized healthcare services. These are the main advantages of the federated learning. And coming to the challenges of federated learning in IoT healthcare, so we can say that patient data varies across individuals. So what the difficulty here is, uh, there are actually thousands of patients or 10,000 of patients are actually taking part in this particular model update. So maybe with respect to this patient data, maybe one patient is having along with one diseases, maybe his condition is something different other than the person who is having the same disease. So definitely the global model training will more become more challenging. Then communication overhead, we need frequent model updates. We need frequent model updates that actually increases the network usages, and so it can affect the latency, that is the response time can be more, and it can also require more energy consumption. So that will be another challenge with respect to in the case of an IoT devices, in the perspective of IoT devices. So limited device resources, where wearables have limited CPU, memory, storage, and battery, and it can restrict local model training capabilities. Then model synchronization is another big challenge in the case of federated learning, where some devices may join at one time and it can leave at another time. Similarly, devices are actually join and leave at different times. So training will be something a little bit difficult in order to have the synchronization. It can causes delays in global model convergence. And again, security threats, that are another important aspect. I think the following section is actually going to handle with these type of security threats. Malicious devices may send poison or fake model updates. So a devices which is intentionally sent unnecessary or malicious type of updates or the fake model updates to the central server, so that can affect the entire global model training. So that can be that type of model training can be poisoning. Similarly, there will be heterogeneous, as we know, there can be heterogeneous devices, because IoT devices with different hardware capabilities and communication technologies are actually taking part in the communication. So it can lead to inconsistent training, performance, and efficiency. So now I'm going to introduce another area where which can reduce the some of these challenges, or which can decrease, which can actually improve some of the challenges which are actually introduced by this federated learning. So that is actually the blockchain techniques which can be in healthcare monitoring. So what is why blockchain is added, that I am going to first tell. So blockchain is actually blockchain, as we know, it's a collection of networking of devices, but it is type of a distributed system that is actually providing security to different security in to the devices which are taking part in the networking connections. So it can ensure trust among participating healthcare devices, and it can verify its device identity. It can provide logging of model updates, prevents unauthorized modification of records, and it can enhances transparency and accountability. So before explaining this thing, I'm just going towards the federated learning technique, blockchain. where blockchain is actually so the first challenge which is happened in the federated learning, which is actually verification of a participating device. So a fake or a IoT devices can join the federated learning network. So malicious devices can actually submit poison model updates. So a blockchain can actually provide a solution there, because in blockchain verification of the participation devices can be done. It assigns each IoT devices a unique digital identity, and it authenticates devices using cryptographic signatures, and it also records unauthorized devices on the blockchain. So allows only verified devices to participate in model training. So we can say that example, a wearable ECG devices digitally sign their model updates. So those devices which is having a digital signature and it is verified by the particular system is allowing the model update. It will allow to change the model updates. Similarly, blockchain verifies the signature before accepting the update. Next challenge is actually the next challenge is actually model updates may be altered or deleted by the attackers. So definitely there will be there can be chances of altering intentionally the model updates, or that model updates can be deleted. So it is very difficult to trace such type of malicious activities. So blockchain is actually introduced solution for this, because we know that in the case of blockchain it actually records every model update. Blockchain is actually immutable log up. It is providing immutable log updates. So it records every model update as a block transaction, which creates permanent tamper-proof records, maintains a secure audit trail of all training rounds. So every device, a transaction will be storing with a device ID, timestamp, model update hash, and training round number. So next challenge is actually improve trust and accountability problems. Trust and accountability problem. Participants cannot verify updates are trustworthy. Centralized servers can become single points of failure. So blockchain is actually records every action transparently. It means that it will record every actions so that all participants can to verify submitted updates, and it can also use a smart contracts to enforce the participation rules. So examples are like devices gain. So it means that if a device is providing honest model updates, and identifying that updates are very useful to the global model updates, we will be assigning a good score to such devices. Whereas some model device updates may affect the original global. So such type of updates are recorded and identified, and once it is identified, it will be assigning lower score. So such suspicious devices have by making lesser influence for such type of suspicious devices during integration will be improving the entire accountability, improving the trust problem of the system. Then detect malicious participants. So compromised device may send poison and model updates. So it can be backdoor attacks can also be there definitely. So blockchain can again, it can contributes a history of each device's contribution, and users reputation scores and AI-based anomaly detection. AI-based anomaly detection can identify anomalies from a particular devices. So if automatically it can automatically exclude the malicious devices from the training. So a device which is repeatedly sending up normal updates, if we can identify through utilizing this AI based anomaly detection techniques, then we can revoke its participation in future federated rounds. Now, beyond energy, that means beyond energy threats. Before that, so this is actually importance of the blockchain in federated learning. So so a combination of blockchain and federated learning is actually utilized in the case of nowadays IoT devices. So whenever we are combining an IoT devices, federated learning and blockchain, definitely it introduces additional overhead. So that overhead will definitely increases the energy consumption required for the particular devices. So that overhead can be for the federated learning, if we account for that amount of increased energy consumption, it can be local model training. It can there will definitely needs multiple communication rounds. So similarly, it can provide continuous model synchronization. So all these things are actually accounting for the increased energy consumption. Same way, blockchain, we are utilizing cryptographic hashing, digital signatures, concurrence mechanisms, ledger maintenance. So all these things are actually accounting for the energy consumption. So this figure is actually showing a summary of the usage of the federated learning and the combination of a federated learning and a blockchain, and which can lead to the that utilization of these two can lead to the energy consumption. So smart healthcare system, definitely there will be massive healthcare data which can be heterogeneous, and it can be continuously generated, and it will be working on a federated learning. So local model training and data stays local, only model updates are shared to the major central server. Similarly, trustworthy and integrity systems can be implemented with the help of the blockchain. So blockchain is having their own specific features like immutability, transparency, identity and trust management features. So utilizing all these things, it can actually process the it can actually improve the security. But utilizing these two definitely leads to more energy consumption, definitely. So again, along with the IoT devices energy usage, these two has to be considered when we are developing such an AI model training. So there is a lot of working research are actually nowadays going on to improve the energy consumption of these type of federated blockchain combination IoT devices. So now I'm coming to the last point of my presentation, which is actually the different threats, which is actually coming to this type of system. I chose this topic because the session following this is actually the security threats for the IoT devices. So IoT device for threats is actually there can be security threats, that threats be in three ways. It can in terms of IoT device threats, be federated learning threats, or it can be a blockchain layer threat. So IoT device threats actually, IoT device threat, attackers compromise devices, can inject malwares, it can gain unauthorized access, or it can also steal sensitive informations. And also data leakaging, eavesdropping, etc. can be can be a threat to an IoT devices. So coming to the federated learning layer, there can be data poisoning type of attacks, model poisoning. Data can be changed out. Model parameters can be changed out, so that can affect the entire system. Similarly, attacks, pre-rider attacks, inference attacks, like type of different types of attacks will be there in the federated. So blockchain threats, I'm just introducing these terms to you because the threats, the next session will be dealing with these type of threats. Then blockchain threats, uh, that blockchain layer also, attackers can also perform different types of threats like identity spoofing, smart contract exploitation, consonance manipulation, ledger tampering attempts, etc. So these are the, so we need for a secure, energy efficient, blockchain enabled learning system for improvement of the entire healthcare systems. So um, so we already discussed these points. So just concluding with the threats which can happens to the different types of areas, like threats in federated learning, like data poisoning attacks and model poisoning attacks, threats in blockchaining, where the identity spoofing can be there, like on our devices can be spoofed so that malicious devices can take part in the model updates. And similarly, smart contract vulnerabilities there, then consonance manipulation that is coming from the technique, that can be there. Similarly, threats can IoT devices compromised, or type of malware, software malware injections can be there, and some unauthorized type of access can also be happens to the IoT devices. And similarly, data leakage will also be there. So coming to the different future trends, we that actually working with this type of in the healthcare systems are actually integration with edge computing for faster local processing. So we all are actually having some idea about what is edge computing and all. So instead of processing, transferring all the informations to a central server, we can use an edge computing devices, like a small raspberry, small GPU, can actually process the information, which can locally process the information, so that the further processing speed, that increase the further processing speed. Similarly, we can also improve the privacy and security of the patient data information. So there are so many researches are actually going on this area also. Privacy enhancements using different privacy and security aggregation mechanisms. Similarly, a personalized federated learning, where each device adapts the global model updates with respect to that particular personalized health systems. So once that health global updates are coming on, utilizing that global model updates, that local AI can utilize, utilizing that global model updates, the local AI system can take some portion and make their own system, their own local AI models, which can particularly serve that particular hospital systems. Mm. Similarly, federated learning over 5G or 6G network for lower latency and high response can be the communication devices working on 5G and 6G networks, which can improve the which can reduce the latency and improve the throughput of the device. So again, federated learning with blockchain can also improve the test and healthcare systems. So these are the some future trends in these areas. So I'm concluding my, and once again, thank you for all of your patient learning.
Thank you, Ms. Ambili AR, for that full and enriching session. We sincerely appreciate the time, expertise, and effort you have devoted to making this session both informative and engaging. We'll now open the floor for interaction. Participants are invited to share their questions, comments, or feedback regarding today's session. We shall now present a token of gratitude to our esteemed resource person in appreciation of our valuable time and insightful session.
Thank you for your for this valuable opportunity. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me now or you mail me at any time. And thank you, Vinod sir, for this opportunity to give entrusted me giving this session on healthcare monitoring and applications. And thank you once again.
Once again, on behalf of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, CMAT, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Ms. Ambili AR for being with us today and for delivering such an insightful and enriching session. We wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. So can I leave, Amrita?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you once again.
We shall now move to our next session. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our esteemed resource person for the session, Mr. Sreekanth ES, Assistant Professor at MES College of Engineering, Kuttipuram. Mr. Sreekanth brings with him more than 15 years of teaching experience in the field of computer science and engineering. He has previously interned at Philips Research Area, Asia, Bengaluru, and has contributed to an invention disclosure related to DNA sequencing, for which a patent has been granted. He is a life member of the Indian Society for Technical Education and has qualified the UGC NET examination. Throughout his academic career, he has actively contributed to teaching, learning, and academic development, and he is currently pursuing his PhD at APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. His areas of research interest include computer graphics, image processing, reversible watermarking, and image data hiding, making him an ideal expert to address today's topic. In this session, he will be sharing his insights on secure healthcare applications, data hiding techniques in medical images. This topic explores the crucial role of data security and privacy in modern healthcare systems, particularly in the secure storage and transmission of medical images. We are delighted to have him with us today and are confident that his expertise and experience will provide valuable insights into this important area of research and application. With that, I respectfully invite Mr. Sreekanth ES to deliver his session.
Thank you for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. Here, thank of the management for and teachers for giving me such an opportunity. First of all, am I audible? Is it audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Can you thank you. So today I'm trying to take one topic to give the basement of reversible data hiding. This is what is majorly used in medical images. As you know, after COVID-19, the transmission of medical images online is very much popular. Why? Because the doctors can do the diagnosis by transferring the images online. But during this transfer, he or she need to embed the associated patient details with the medical images, isn't it? Why? Because it is if the details are sent separate file, it is very difficult to keep a mapping between those two. So what that people are doing is the embedding data medical image within the medical image. So is it possible to normal? We know there are many data hiding techniques are there. Normal data hiding, the problem is the importance is given to the data that is hidden inside, not to the cover image. The case of medical image, both the hidden data as well as the medical image are important because the data is correspond to the patient. Medical image is required for the diagnosis for the doctor. So both are important. So in the session, we are discussing about data hiding in medical images means we are discussing about a particular type of data hiding, that reversible data hiding. How the data is done embedded reversibly means once the data is embedded at the receiver, both the data as well as the medical image that should be extracted without any corruption. That is the most important requirement of reversible data hiding. So let me come to the slides. Yes, normal data hiding in any media, right? Images is audio, video, all these are there. But today we are discussing about data hiding in medical images. So this especially normal data hiding is, as I told, that is the data, secret data will be, what to say, recovered. But there is no guarantee about the cover image. So in medical image, deal with the cover image also, right? These are some of the common modalities that you already know: MRI image, CT image, X-ray image, all these things. We need to embed data within these images. Okay, the requirement is the both the embedded data as well as the image that should be without any change. That is what this medical images will be associated with sensitive patient information, right? So we need to protect that information as well as the medical image. So this is the reversible hiding. It's a special type of data hiding because we have already heard about steganography. Steganography is an art, a superset of this field. That is, we are hiding the data, right? So there is no requirement of the maintenance or management of the covering. Here it is required, right? So no permanent distortion remains after extraction. That is the main requirement of our reversible data hiding. So this is what it means. There is an original image and a secret data will be there. What is the secret data? It can be many things. Either it can be a patient or it can be some kind of watermark. Suppose I want to embed its logo. It can be the, or it can be some kind of recovery information. So many things are there. Come deal with that data. Then we are doing the embedding, and then here is it is called mark image. After embedding, we can call it image, and after extraction, we should obtain secret data as well as the original image. Okay. So this is just I want to show. This is actually an image which is the data, but it is there. We cannot determine whether the data is present or not because it should be perceptually good in appearance, right? So, and after recovery, we should get the medical image as well these are the techniques we are going to discuss, because this provide the basic of the reversible data hiding methods. Because any advanced data hiding methods we take, there will be slight use of these techniques. So these are paving the basement of the reversible data hiding. So this should be first. That is what I took this portion as main. So first one is difference. It is the earliest reversible watermarking techniques. We will see what is difference expansion with an example, because I don't want to go to the theory portion. Suppose, look, 2 pixels. Okay, we know image is a matrix. So we have 2 pixels, x and y. Assume there are adjacent pixels. The difference between them. Okay, let d is equal to y minus, right? And we have to calculate its average also. What are we are going to a bit within this 2 adjacent pixels. We need to embed reversibly. For that, we need to calculate 2 values, that is d and a. Okay, what is d? Difference, and L is the right. Now, suppose mark bit, it will be 0 or 1, whatever it is. And now we have an expansion operation. This is called expansion operation. Okay, we are doubling the difference value and adding the watermark bit. This can be 0 or right. Now we need to define or find the modified or new x and values. We can call it as x dash and y dash. Okay, x dash are the new modified values of x and y. Right? Using this equation, that is from average, we will subtract d minus d dash by 2, and y is x dash plus dash. So what is happening? We will actually finding the center point and taking equal distance, okay, from that center point. That is the. Look at this example. So here you have x as 100 and y as 102, and d is 102 minus 100, that's 2. Right? Now, taking the average, that is 101. Now, let us assume b is 1, that is the water bit to embed is 1. Okay? So now we are taking, sorry. Yeah. Right? So d dash is what? Is showing my connection is unstable. Am I audible still?
Yes,
Please
audible,
reply.
audible.
Yes. Okay. So now happening in the expanded difference, you will get as 5. Now what? Now you are getting d dash as 5, and we are getting updated pixel values as shown the equations before, that as 99 and 1. What are they? They are the new pixel values. Initially we had 101, and we identified the new pixel values as 9104. Now what is happening? So for every pixel pair, suppose 10 bits to embed, we will take 20 pixels and embed the bits. We will find out the new values as their corresponding watermarked pixel pairs. Now we will transfer the data with these values, right? We will transfer data with values, and now at the receiver, we will calculate the same operation. We will find d dash, that is y dash minus x dash, right? Because the image is still carrying those updated values. Okay, so you have to calculate the d dash. Now, what is happening? You need to extract the bit. So you can extract using d dash mode 2. Why? Because how we embedded using this equation, right? So from this equation, you can extract the floor of d dash, right? D dash. Similarly, we will restore values of x and y. How we can restore? Restore by first you have to the original difference d by taking d dash by 2. Then what you have to do? You have to use the equations recurring. First, you have to recover average because average is same. Average is not changing. So you can find out the average. Then A2, right? Minus D by 2. Okay, reconstruction. Reconstruction is happening because D already we found out. Now you can use y is equal to x plus d for calculating the initial values. Now what? We will get back the initial values, right? So you can see here 101 is the average. So 101 2 by 2, 2 is the d, okay, and you will get x and y 100 plus 2, that is 102. Now we embedded some values. The receiver obtained the and he or she can extract the same value, okay, along with the watermark bit. So this is the calculations that are happening in the difference expansion. Difference expansion is one of the earliest technique. Okay, so this expansion technique is the basement for reversible data embedding. So these are the advantages, that is actually fully, of course, and the implementation and are easy to implement, right? But some problems, okay? So we should define the correlation of adjacent pixels, because in the reversible data embedding, we should take care of what is the quality of the output pixels or output image. So if the difference is very large, the corresponding marked image pixels will be also changed. So what will happen? The corresponding PSNR, that is pixel to noise ratio of the resulting image, will vary. So we cannot depend on all pixel pairs, because if the difference is very large, it will affect the resulting marked image quality. Okay, so there should be, if the correlation is very much, that both are almost similar values, then obviously the resulting image will be very good. Otherwise, it will affect the PSNR. That means if PSNR is suppose it is less than 40, it will be, the image quality will be very less, right? So that large differences cause distortion. Then overflow and overflows. Okay, that will happen. That means if we are doing this modification, if the resulting pixel has intensity that is above the expected intensity value, okay, it will affect the overflow. Okay, it will create, or similarly, if we calculate pixel value, if it is coming less than 0, that will be also a problem. So what is to be done? Such pixels should be explicitly indicated using location map. Okay, some location map you need to keep for managing or identifying those pixel pairs that cannot be used for embedding by the sender. So the sender should get that information. So suppose you have 20 pixel pairs, and out of that you have to you have 10 locations that you cannot embed. So what is to be done? You have to get it like array, and you have to compress it and embed it in the image itself. So how to embed that? So for that, there are some other methods that are used in conventional difference expansion. Normally, many papers have done like this. They will take one of the bit planes, maybe bit plane, LSB bit plane. They will compress it. Compress it means there will be some little space. Of course, the compression should be using some lossless scheme. Okay, maybe encoding. Okay, so you can without the remaining space can use for embedding this local map. So at the receiver, what will happen? receiver, this particular location map will be retrieved first. Then the LSB bit plane that is compressed will be relaxed, so that the initial image will be obtained at the receiver. These are common techniques used. Then similar technology is histogram shifting. Histogram shifting is also a very good method for reversible embedding. So for doing histogram shifting, what you have to identify is the peak points and 0 points in the histogram. I will tell you what is points and 0 points. Look, the peak point is, that is, highest frequency bins is called a peak point. I can tell you with one example. Look at this image. Okay, these are all intensities, and you can see that the pixel value 100 occurs frequently, and there is no intensity with 105, right? So now what you have to do, you have already found out the 100, okay, maximum intensity. So that is peak point, and the 105 is 0 points. Now, how to implement histogram in this image, histogram shifting for data embedding? For that, look, this is the what's the histogram. Now, peak point we have identified. Now, we have to create space. How to create? How to create means you have to shift the other intensities, that is from 101 to 105. You have 104 shift right side. Here it is shifting right side. It's not compulsory. And then what you have to do, you will get one vacant position. I will show you one picture, then you will be clear. This is the histogram before, right? This is a histogram before. See, this is 100, 101, 102, 103, 104. These are the initial intensities, and 105 doesn't have intensity at all. There is no pixel in intensity 105. Now we do the shifting. After, what will happen? From this 101 onwards, we are shifting down. From this 101 onwards, we are shifting down. So it will look like this. Now, this 101 space is utilized for data embedding. I will show you how. How watermark embedding is done. So look, if you want to embed bit 0, okay, if you want to embed bit 0, you will not shift at all. Keep that intensity there itself. And if you want to embed 1, you will shift or increase the value of intensity 100 to 101. What will happen? So at the resultant image, if there is an intensity value with 101, that indicates that an embedding of bit 1. If there is an value 100, it indicates embedding of 0. Okay, so in this state, it is sent to the receiver. Okay, so the receiver will do. The receiver will it will take it will see the image. It will see the image, and it will check for the peak value that will be already shared with. Peak value and 0 points will be with the receiver already. Now it will check for 100. If it is a 100 intensity is found, the watermark with 0 will be attached. If there is a pixel value with 101, then a watermark with 1 will be extracted. Okay, and after extraction, what it will do, that is also important, because we have to restore the image to the previous one. Okay, so 101 will be changed to 100, because we know the receiver know that 101 is actually there not exist in this watermark. Watermark image. If there is a 101, that indicates it is shifted to, or it is changed to 101 just because of the embedding of the watermark. So all the bits in 101 are changed to 100. Now what is to be done? It will be moved back. The intensity will be moved back. Okay, the intensity will be moved back to the initial stage 100. Now, not only 100, all the bits from 105 onwards, all are pushed back to the initial intensity. Now the image is restored. And watermark is exactly recovered. That is the idea of histogram shifting. Okay, so this is also fully reversible, of course, you saw that. And embedding capacity is limited. Why? Embedding capacity is limited. Why? Because it is purely depending on the max peak points. It is merely depending on the peak point. Okay, and performance depends on histogram distribution. Okay, now the side information. What are the side information we need to share with the receiver? There is no magic in reversible data embedding. We have to clearly indicate the side information. Okay, one is peak point and 0 point. Then overflow question. What is overflow? See, when we are finding an intensity, okay, if it is 254 and let it be 255, okay, 255, and we are shifting right, so the intensity will become 36, which is not. So at this question, in such cases, such intensity should be monitored, and that should be communicated with the using some kind of location map. Okay, so that is very important. Then embedding direction. What embedding direction means, whether we are shifting back or we are shifting forward, as just explained before. Okay, and there is one more thing we need to understand. What is payload length? If you have 50 bits to embed, okay, you need not have to deal with the other bits, right? So payload length is very important to communicate with the receiver, because otherwise it will it will shift additional pixels, okay, thinking that they are watermark embedded. Okay, so that is very important. So transition from another histogram to another technology, prediction error expansion. So prediction error expansion is currently very important, because we have different techniques for predictions. So that is why prediction error expansion is currently very important. So we will see what is happening in prediction error expansion. Okay. See, so just like right, we are using difference expansion, we are using two adjacent pixels, right? So here we are not at all dealing much with the local correlations, but prediction expansion is more related to local correlation. That means we are predicting pixels not only based on just a single pixel. We are predicting pixels based on different intensities within the image. The a pixel can be predicted by taking all surrounding pixels. A pixel can be better predicted by taking top and left pixel. Right. So methods of prediction we can use here, and remaining concepts is just same as what we discussed in difference expansion, that embedding by expanding the prediction error. Okay, we will see this is one kind of prediction. See, center pixel we want to predict. Okay, so if you just take a pixel just before, the prediction may not be correct, may not be exactly correct. But if you take all surrounding pixels and taking the average, okay, there is a possibility. There is a possibility for better prediction. If there is better prediction, the error will be very less. Error will in better PSNR, and it will be giving you watermark image, okay, or marked image, right? So that is the concept. Okay, how we can predict this pixel? That is the whole concept of prediction error expansion, and it is not compulsory that you should take all these pixels. If it is better result are getting, you can take only one pixel, not a problem. You can take these three pixels, not a problem. But the thing, But the thing is, we should be able to reverse this process at the receiver. That is very important. Okay, we will understand that. Okay, this is what just we are predicting x cap equal to 100, but actual center pixel is 101. Then we will take the prediction error, that is E, and we want what to say, we can do the same similar calculation we did before for prediction error expansion also. Okay, so prediction error histogram, as I told before, we can embed in the best manner if error is zero itself. Okay, so -2, -1, 1, 2, all these can be errors, but we should be the best this zero. Okay, and another point is we need to limit these errors. Why? Because it is -10. Error is -10 or
Sir,
10.
your
The
voice is not clear,
resulting
sir.
marked image quantity will be less. I told before. So that is why we should limit using some threshold value. Okay. Right. So we are calculating and we can embedding that. This fraction also depending on how we are doing the prediction. Sorry, something happened. But coming now, is it my voice here now?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
My voice is clear now.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. We will continue. So we've done this much. Okay. This is very important. Prediction must be reproducible during extraction. Otherwise, not get a reversible result. Okay. So I will explain that. That is only causally available or previously recovered pixels can be used for prediction. Okay. So that is very important. Okay. We will see that. Before that, what are the side information we have? We need to share some of the side information as we told before. That is, for this also there can be overflow locations, underflow locations, then some kind of prediction mode information, which prediction you are using. Okay, and skipped positions. Some positions we need to skip because of some overflow problems or some other problems. Then this prediction mode is important. What is prediction mode? Prediction mode in the sense we need to clearly communicate which pixels we used for prediction. Okay, whether it is all surrounding pixels we took or left or top pixels we took. Okay, very important. Okay, prediction mode information, threshold values. Okay, till what threshold we embedded information, also very important. Now, suppose we are taking 2 pixels and error here. Okay, so if this watermark produces a value 257, okay, so we need that point. That is what I give location map. Okay, this location map is very important. Like this. Okay, suppose we have 4 pixels P1, P2, P3, and P1, P2, P3 is skipped and P4 is embedded. So what will be the location map will look like? 1101. Normally it will be a binary map. Okay. So you can either embed it like this, or normally in paper it is actually compressed. Okay, the location will be usually compressed. Okay, because why? Because it is normally if area and a non-smooth area in images. Okay, so there are more possibilities that will be a sequence of ones and sequence of zeros. Okay, that is normally occurring in medical images mainly. Okay, so you can easily compress the location map and you can send to the receiver. Okay. See, the compressed information can be in also. Okay, which location we skipped? Okay, that you can indicate. Okay, only skipped questions. So look at this. We are skipping only third question and 7th question. We can indicate that only. That is also okay, because if it is better, which one is better depends. Okay, that depends on the image. Okay, that depends on the image, right? So compressed guide information. Right? So the advantage of prediction expansion is higher embedding rate of capacity will be very high. Then moreover, we can use different types of predictions. Okay, not only a single different options for prediction, right? So now in modern adaptive prediction expansion is there. Okay, so why? Because in a medium or in any image, there will be different types of areas. Okay, so there will be smooth areas. Okay, in smooth areas, the what to say, the prediction will be better. Okay, the prediction will be better. So the threshold values modified accordingly. Okay, the threshold values can be modified accordingly. So if you keep the threshold value same throughout the image, the embedding capacity may be low. Okay, so you have to adaptively modify the threshold values. That is one idea. Then block classification. Okay, and you can what to say, blocks into good, that is embeddable blocks, non-embeddable blocks, in that way. Okay, so that you can, then you need to share only this block, what, this block ID or block number. So you can eliminate the huge size of the location map. Okay, you are only communicating block position. So if there is a 512 by 512 image, there will be only 4096 blocks. You can classify it as either one embeddable and another is non-embeddable, depending on how effectively you can apply prediction expansion. Okay, so that is one idea. Then region of interest and region of non-interest processing. In a medical image, you can divide the region of interest and region of interest. That means region of interest is highly sensitive and it is most required for diagnosis. That is region of interest. Region of non-interest is the surrounding area. Suppose maybe summer detection. So to area you can different tools are available nowadays to locate the region of interest. You can use machine learning to identify region of interest. Okay, different models are available. Okay, tools are available for identifying region of interest. So what we can do, we can embed data only in region of non-interest and keep region of interest as it is. What is the advantage? Important area for diagnosis kept as it is. There is no embedding at all. The data will be embedded only in region of non-interest. That is some modern approaches. Then, as I told, deep learning based prediction. Okay, you can use deep learning networks for predicting this, for prediction of embedded pixels, or what to say, that pixel. Okay, based on the different, even already existing models are available for predicting pixels. Okay, so with that you can predict exactly what it is. So what is the advantage? If the prediction is 0, the embedding rate will be very good. The resulting warped image will be looking better. That is the advantage. Okay, so all these will affect embedding improvement in capacity, image quality, and reversibility. Okay, this is just, I put one example. So you have an image. This is the image. Okay, so watermark bits. These are the watermark which we are planning to embed. We are as two. And we are assuming that our prediction is like this. We are using the left pixel prediction. We are using the left pixel for prediction. Okay. So you are using the methodology that we learned before, that is the expansion of. Okay. So here the difference is, so it is actually data embedding is pure engineering. So you can, how we can improve the prediction, that is the only thing we need to deal with. So in what doing is, actually the embedding is done and data is embedded, and this is the marked pixel. So this marked pixel is used for predicting the next pixel, right? That is the implementation followed in this. Okay, there are various implementations. Okay, so no need to stick to a particular one, and decide what is better based on the image. Okay, which is more better. So one is the initial value of x, and this is the predicted value. This is the error. Okay, so we added the error value to what is 2e plus 1. 2e plus 1, 2 into 1 plus 1, that is 3, will be added with the x bar. Okay, according to this equation. Okay, x bar plus EW. Okay, marked value, this value, and we will get the watermark x as 103. Okay, now we are using this 103 next prediction, right? So now next pixel is 103. So 103 will be compared with 103, and there is no error at all. So you will get 103 itself. Now you are predicting, so for 102. Okay, so difference is 1. So what you will get XW as 102. Similarly, for using 99, okay, you are predicting this 100, right? The watermark, this is the watermark which we are embedding. Okay, this is the watermark which we are embedding, and you are embedding the last bit as 0. This is the marked image we are getting. So image we are getting. Now what is to be this is a resulting image, watermark image. Okay, this is watermark image. See, look how the values are changing. So 101 is changed to 103. 103 is as it is. 102 is 102, and 100 is changed to 102, and this is also same. Now what we have to share with the receiver, we have to send the receiver that we have embedded 5. Okay, 5 bits. that is the length of embedded data. That is, then there is no skipped portions in this. Okay, so what the receiver will do, receiver know how the embedding happened. Okay, all these are assuming that there is no attack. Okay, that is, we will come to that later. Then we will do the reverse. Okay, we should, receiver will do the reverse. Okay, so he will start from here. Okay, from this he will find out the error value, and this 0 he will get. So from that he will understand what is the actual X value. So the reverse process will happen at the receiver. Okay, so this is what is happening at the receiver. So he will be getting the watermark in the reverse order. Okay, in the reverse order, because the process is happening reverse, right? So at the receiver, what it will do? It will, after getting the watermark, it will reverse it. Okay, so you will get the final watermark as well as the recovery, which is same as the initial image. Okay, this is an end-to-end example I added to get, throughout idea of predictional expansion before also. Okay, so that is how. So from backward we need to process. Okay, suppose we are using these 3 pixels. Okay, these 3 pixels. We can find out this predict this pixel. We can embed the watermark bit. Okay, then okay. So at the receiver, what it will happen? Receiver, we have to come from words. Then only the prediction will be. We can extract watermark data. I got you. I feel that you have the idea. Okay, so this is happening in predictional expansion. We have to take care about what prediction mode we are taking. Okay, that is very important. Okay, so site information is as it is. So overflow and underflow locations will be there. Okay. Then challenge is how to minimize the site information. Okay, how to minimize, that is one of the challenge. Okay, because the embedding of the site information is a headache. Okay, how to embed, because use the same methodology for embedding the site information. You have to send it explicitly through a secure channel. Okay, or you have to in some bit planes. As I said before, you can compress one bit plane and you put the value in that. But still, it is very difficult because it may not be fit to one single bit plane. If the single bit plane, if you get less capacity when you apply the coding, it is another headache. All these are challenges in watermarking. Data hiding. Okay, techniques. So this is also the another problem, that is we need to classify the pixels. Why? To improve capacity, we may need to classify the pixels. There may be some pixels with the overflow. There can be pixels with underflow. Okay, so what we can do? You can say if it is small error only. Okay, you can use it for data embedding. If large error, you can skip. You need to skip because it may error in the image, or it may reduce the quality of the image. You need to skip that pixel. Need not have to embed at all. Then another you may skip some pixels because the overflow condition. Okay, it is not causing too, but the problem is overflow. Okay, it is going out of the valid intensity range. So that is a problem. Okay, so these are different classification we need to identify and communicate with the receiver. Then only the exact recovery is possible. I am again telling all these are applicable in reversible watermark. Normal watermarking techniques are existing. Dealing with only the data, both are reversible watermarking, data hiding, both are actually using same techniques. Okay, so what is the difference? Okay, difference is in the case of reversible data hiding, the main requirement is okay how to increase embedding capacity. Okay, how to increase the embedding capacity is the requirement of what? Reversible data hiding. But in reversible watermarking, that we will come to in the next section. Okay, the thing is how we deal with networking attacks. Okay, so we will see it soon. So for now, understand that we are closing the pixels in prediction or expansion. Okay, these are some of the see P1, that is 100 and 101. We can easily embed because there is not much error. Okay, on expand will be only 3. That will become 103. That's it. So note that we are adding the for finding the XW, we are adding with the X cap. Okay, X cap is our prediction. X cap is our prediction. With that, we are adding the what? This watermark value. Okay. Yes. Now here the difference is very high. You need to shift. Okay, you need to shift. Then you have here it is creating overflow because it is going out of boundary. If you embed, it will create out of boundary because it is 256 is out of valid in range. So you have to report overflow with the receiver. Okay. So that is the session about. Next, another topic is reversible data hiding in frequency domain. Okay, so what all we did is in spatial domain. Okay, so in frequency domain also we can do that. But in medical images, normally we are not following frequency domain. In frequency domain, the exact recovery is difficult. Okay, so that is why we are not much preferring the data hiding in frequency domain. But we will just that. So different we are embedding in what to say in frequency coefficients. Okay, we will convert into DCT, discrete cosine transform or IWT, and we will embed in coefficients and we will inverse. Okay, so what will happen? We will get a good, better image. Okay, better in quality. But when we are at the receiver, it is a little bit difficult to extract the watermark as it is. Okay, we are not much preferring work in frequency domain. Anyway, this flow is as it is. See, I just compared this, though I have clearly written that is reversibly is challenging in the case of frequency domain. But of it is good because that what to say the imperceptibility. What is imperceptibility means? So after embedding, the quality of the image better in frequency domain. Okay, frequency spatial domain, since it is affecting directly the pixel, it may be moderate only. Okay, that is the only advantage. Okay, in the case of medical image for this. Okay, yeah. Okay, we will go to the next slide. Okay, next we will go to another topic: reversible data hiding in encrypted images. Okay, this is another huge area. Reversible data hiding in encrypted image. That means we are first encrypting the image. Okay, encrypting using some kind of algorithm, and then we are embedding. So what is the okay? Normally we discussed methods will not work here. Okay, will not work in the. There will not be no correlation. Okay, there will not be no correlation. Okay, so original pixels will be like this. Encrypted pixel will be like this. Okay, so what to say? Neighboring pixels do spatial correlation, and prediction becomes unreliable. Okay, so we cannot directly apply these things. Okay, So what is the different embedding? Okay, we will just what following is mainly MSB prediction. Okay, prediction in the sense we can, even if the encrypted pixels are very much varying, the higher bits will be almost same. Higher bits in the sense maybe the 15th, if it is a DICOM image, okay, DICOM image, and there will be the higher bits. Okay, there can be some clarity. In spatial domain, we cannot embed in higher bits. Why? Because it will affect the picture quality. But in encrypted image, there is no effect with the picture quality because already it is a random data, right? So you can easily embed in higher pixels. So that is a different area of research, reversible data hiding in encrypted images. So in that, mainly we can use higher bits for embedding, and it will be giving you good capacity. Okay. Medical images contain sensitive patient information that is discussed. So that is, but the problem is, what to say? We will not. The hospitals will not keep that with them. They will be stored in cloud servers. Okay, but the hospital don't wish to actually, disclose the patient data with the cloud. Okay. So what the hospital will encrypt the data first. Okay, hospital will encrypt the data first and then send to the cloud. The cloud also maybe to embed some data. It may be some kind of batch number, okay, image identifier, something like that. So in normal data embedding, the data are embedded in the pixel. Okay, in encrypted domain, there is no idea where to embed. Okay, for the receiver too. So what to do in this situation? Okay, what to do in this situation? Okay, there are two approaches for this. One is reserving room before encryption, and what to say, we can vacate room after encryption. Okay, vacating room after encryption. Two approaches. Okay, tell you what it is. Reserving room before encryption means we are actually reserving some data, maybe some compression techniques we are applying. Okay, and compression techniques we are applying, and then we are encrypting. Okay, encrypting. What the sender will do? Sender will label where there is some vacant space. Okay, vacant space will be located by the receiver, just like a sender by just some using some label. This data we are sending to the cloud. In this particular vacant space, the cloud can embed its own data. Okay, and this data is sent to the receiver. The receiver, what it will do, it also get the locations. Okay, so it can read this image by taking the data from the both data sent by the cloud as well as the sender. Okay, now the next approach is creating room after encryption. Okay, so this is also same. First it will encrypt. Okay, then it will, what to say, do some kind of operation to remove some space, some smooth spaces. Okay, for it will label these are the smooth spaces where we can okay, so this information will be passed to the cloud. Okay, so first one is reserving room encryption, and the other one is vacating room after encryption. So the space for embedding will be created after embedding only, after encryption only in the second case. Okay, these two approaches mainly in the literature in this area. Okay. So both are reversible data encrypted image family, but these are classified into two. Okay, so here reversible data hiding encrypted images. There is another concept called homomorphic encryption. That is also have taken place. Homomorphic encryption means suppose the cloud also want to do some operation on the okay. Cloud also want to do some processing. At present, there is purely encrypted data with cloud, so he cannot do anything with that data. But in the case, if you do homomorphic encryption, homomorphic is a particular type of encryption where you can work with the data. The cloud cannot understand. Cloud can work with the data. Okay, so that is the peculiar of homomorphic encryption. So if the suppose the hospital want to do the tumor analysis, okay, with the cloud, but he don't want to obtain what to say that cloud does not want to, I mean, hospital does not want to reveal the patient data to the cloud. Okay, at that time also, and he can use homomorphic encryption. Okay, then separable reversible data hiding. Okay, separable reversible data hiding is another technique. So here, what is the idea? Idea is data extraction and image decryption are independent. That is the most important thing. Okay, data extraction and image decryption means what? Okay, so I will tell you a scenario. Say original image we are sending. Okay, original image we are sending by encrypting with a key, that is EK, encryption key. Okay, so this encrypted image will be by what to say cloud. Okay, so the cloud will be embedding data using another key called DHK, data hiding key. Okay, and this is the resulting marked encrypted image. Now, what is the advantage? Advantage is this. That means you can do the data and image decryption independently. Suppose the receiver have only the data extraction key. Okay, he can only see the data. He can see only the embedded data. If there is EK only, he can do the decryption of the image. He cannot see the data. So both are independent. If the receiver has both encryption key and data key, okay, he can both extract as well as recover the original image. Okay, so this is called separable reversible data hiding. Okay, so this very important nowadays, because nowadays by default most of the techniques are coming out with separable data hiding only, reversible data separable only. Okay, so this is because both two keys are used normally. Okay, for encryption one key is used, and for embedding another key is used. Okay, that is very important. This is a concept of separable reversible data hiding. Show one flow diagram. So here, look, this is the image owner. This is the image owner. And what he will do, he will label somewhere and out the locations to embed. Okay, and he will encrypt the image. And encrypted image will be associated with this map, because of this map only the cloud can embed some data. Now encrypted label map will be sent. What the data hider cloud will do? Cloud will hide the secret message and embedding key here. Okay, and the encrypted image you will get. This is the final image. Encrypted image with the label map and message. Okay, that will be received by the receiver along with the label. He will extract the label map. Okay, he will extract the label map first. Then using this label map, he will identify the separate data. This key is not a compulsory that is the receiver. Sometimes he may be having, based on the our level, maybe a user, it may be administrator. Okay, depending on that, this encryption key only maybe with the receiver, or maybe embedding key will be there, or maybe both will be there. Okay. Suppose for a doctor, we need to only see the what to say image. We need to have to know the patient details. Okay. Suppose patient maybe need to deal with the his details only. Okay, I'm just telling for the way of understanding. But in the case of if an hospital administrator, he may need to the image. So at that time, he will be having both embedding key as well as the encryption key. So nowadays, the privacy is very important. This is why such kind of schemes are getting priority. Okay. So the label map is like a road map given to the data hider. Okay, that is already. So using this, he is identifying where the data is. The data hider is identifying where the data is possible to hide, right? Okay. So we will come to the digital image watermarking, which is also a very important topic. It is also important topic, but the purpose is slightly different. We will come to that. There are different types of watermarking. I am not going to much detail, but for now, I am telling just this much. There are three watermarking. This is why I took these are perception based watermarking. Okay, types. Okay, robust, fragile, and semi-fragile. There are many different watermarkings are there. So not going to that. So how we are differentiating raw, fragile, and semi-fragile. Okay. So robust watermarking means it can survive image processing operations. Image processing operation means what? That may be some kind of compression, maybe some kind of run operation. Okay, some maybe some okay cutting of clipping of okay, all these things. So robust watermarking surveys image processing means if we have a robust watermark, robust reversible what we are discussing about reversible watermarking, it can survive these kind of attacks. And one more thing is there, if there is a robust reversible watermark, if there is no attack at all, it can recover both reverse image as the watermark. Okay, first definition. And if there is an attack, it should be able to recover the watermark at least. That is the property of robust watermarking. Okay, I will tell once again, that is robust reversible watermark means we take a scenario where there is no attack. In such case, we should be able to extract both the image as the watermark. Okay. In case of attack, we should be able to extract the watermark at least. Okay, no need of covering the image. Okay, no need of extracting the cover image, but we should be able to extract the watermark. That is the most important property of watermark. Fragile watermark means what? Fragile watermark breaks when the image is modified. That is, it is for checking whether there is any modification for the image while transferring the data from the sender to receiver. If there is a single bit change, you should the fragile watermark should be modified. That I can tell with a simple example. You are embedding the what to say the hash value of the image within the image. Okay, using some reversible technique, you are embedding the hash value. So at the receiver, what the receiver will do? Receiver extract this hash value and it will recompute the hash value. So if they are same, that means what? There is no change in the image. That is property of fragile watermark. Okay, now fragile is, but fragile watermark will break if there is kind of a change in the image, right? Now, because but that may be affected, that means you may lose fragile watermark, right? Semi-fragile is there. Semi-fragile can manage some kind of attack. Okay, not all attack like robust watermarks. Okay, but semi-fragile watermark has another property. That means it can identify the location of tampering. Okay, it can identify the location of tampering. Okay, where it is modified. Okay, some semi-fragile watermark will also contain the recoverability possibilities also, how we can, whether we can restore the image. That is, suppose there is a clipping operation happened and a part of the image is clipped out. Okay, so that part you can restore using the remaining part of the image. Also all properties of watermarks. Okay, so this is robust watermark, fragile watermark that we already discussed. Okay, we can use copyright protection, robust watermarking. Why? Because some logo and all you can hide using the watermarking, and you can prove even if some network attacks, prove it is your own image. Why? Because of this extraction of watermark, right? Watermark means there will be some tamper detection, image authentication, and all these things are you can prove. Okay, so what all concepts I just discussed. What is the aim of fragile watermark? Okay, so even small modification also we can detect. That is the main aim of fragile watermark, but integrity verification and tamper detection is what it is used for. Okay, so embedding, embedding all these can use. Okay, expansion, token shifting. The LSB embedding is not much used nowadays, so I did not discuss. LSB embedding is you can for some. Okay, some information use LB that is coming one or two bits. You but the okay the receiver you can expand it. Must be based embedding must. Okay, based embedding useful in right.
There occurred a connectivity issue. Our resource person has been disconnected from the meeting. So this is the time for feedback and comments. He'll be sharing PDF with you all guys. And we'll be sharing the token of gratitude. We have reached the end of the third day of FDP. Thank to our distinguished resource persons and all the participants for making sessions meaningful and interactive. We hope to see you all tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.